They removed the downside liquidity for the first time today. They are stacking stuff up higher, not as robust as the downside, but it's definitely there. 650 would bring us back up to roughly a 50 fib move back up. So that would be a likely target for the move here. We've got 59.10, 59.05 upside. We have a lot of buy-side icebergs here on the bottom. VIX up to 19, nearly a 20% move on the VIX, now back down to about 10% after a large move down. Not going to be chasing any moves. I already taken my one big play today. I might take another trade. We'll see. Of course, we have this afternoon, which is NVIDIA earnings. I'm giving a lot back after capturing 100 points. I need to stop myself. Yes, stop it up. Wrap it up. If you have Top Step X, use the lockout feature. Use the lockout feature. If you are on the Bookmap server today, they are hosting the Funded Trader webinar series. This goes on the entire week from November 18th and November 22nd. And they'll be hosting traders who are funded through prop firms. And today's event will be at 1:30. So if you want to watch traders do that stuff and learn from them, be there or be square. And then, of course, all trades you see here on this channel are for educational purposes only, and past results are not indicative of future results, so please trade at your own risk and at your own count and your own money. $549,550. Which 5 stocks influence the NASDAQ the most? NVIDIA, and then maybe Apple. But it's just NVIDIA with a mask. But in all seriousness, the top 5 companies in NVIDIA or in NASDAQ is NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and AVGO, which is pretty much the same as the S&P. The only difference is that NASDAQ obviously doesn't have any financial instruments in the top, from what I can see, the top 50. The fact that disclaimers like that have to be given. Yeah, I wish they didn't, but again, I could screenshot my DMs and you'd realize that why we have to do a disclaimer. Five, six, three. 568 here, still coming up back green. A whole bunch of buy sides on ES. We have target here on NASDAQ back to 600, which will be a likely move given the fact that the liquidity is stacked there. The book has been fantastic today. They've skewed the book. My favorite book to trade is a heavily skewed book. And today fit that definition to a T. ES was stacked all the way down into the 59.70 area, or the 58.70 area. NASDAQ was stacked all the way down to the 480 area. And the second they filled that skew, they began to roll off any remaining liquidity, pack it on up top, and now, of course, we have a little bounce. That's the best way for me to trade it. 600. Want 600 for my last target, setting 5 and 7. Not be greedy. Nice, Alec. Well done, buddy. Well done. Going for a 608 will be the next target here. Nice little liquidity sweep there, top wick down. All right, coming up to 560 again. I'm not in a trade. Got out of my trade this morning. This was a healthy bounce off of a couple of different levels, nearly on down to last week's lows, this week's lows, and of course the major trend line that goes all the way back to August. If you go back to August and plot every single low pivot on NASDAQ, you'll see that this line comes out right on top of 20,480. 20,480. So you see that NASDAQ bounced right there. The S&P, a similar trend line, although not quite down in that area, 58.90. Overall, though, we're still holding the range from Friday, and more importantly, we're still holding the range since September. Which, yeah, it's fun to play these little moves, but unfortunately, all those shenanigans after the November 5th election just brought us right back inside the same dang pivot zone we've been in for months, when we're all ready to get out. NASDAQ has been at this exact same price since September 26th, August 20th, in fact. Unable to get anywhere without an immediate reduction in price. So hopefully we can get through this 20,400 area and start eating on down into the 19,900. And then once 19,900 gives out, it's a quick slippery slope down to the 17,000s on NASDAQ. Which, with everybody anticipating a green Trump market, a green Santa rally, perfect environment to dump it. Kind of like the same concept this morning. Everyone's expecting a green bounce because of what happened yesterday, and they ram it down your throat. Same concept. Removing the 600 liquidity. I did see that, Alec. Yeah, that was awesome. $584 still heading up. We have all this liquidity block here. They took off all upper liquidity. So if there's no liquidity to the upside, there's no liquidity to chase. Do you pretty much look at the lower time frames for possible volume spikes and adjust accordingly? A-firm is exactly what I do, yeah. 1, 3, 5 minute is only good for volume analysis in my opinion. Just to see if the influx or outflow of volume. And then once you see that, you click off to the 15, you see it build a price action, and you form a thesis. That's the only way to keep me safe consistently. Otherwise, you're gonna get faked out all the time on the smaller time frames. Scalp on the 20-second chart. No wonder I keep getting faked out. Yeah, when you're dealing with liquidity, the shorter time frames, I mean, that thing's gonna whipsaw all over the place. You're gonna be like riding a bucking bull at a rodeo. What do you see above that 712 area on the BM? Let's take a look. Right now we've got 764, 767 right in that area. A couple of small stuff up here, but all the stuff up here is small potatoes. And I like big potatoes. So maybe 675, which is coming pretty quickly here. But yeah. Liquidity at 216, 626 right over here. Nvidia is climbing up hard. Let's go take a look at the options data. Refresh there. Put selling. This is not call buying here. This is aggressive put selling is what we're seeing on the S&P here. They're rolling off all that position, which is in fact changing the delta parameters, which is in fact causing a little bit of buy up here. Tailwind effect for the markets. VIX is rolling off gently, 1767. But so far, this is a nice little bounce. The first bounce in hours after a healthy move down. The NASDAQ move is much aggressive here than the S&P. How am I able to see where they put liquidity on? I'm using Bookmap. So the Bookmap here is a software that allows me to track the fluctuations in order flow. It also allows me to adjust the skew of the market, figure out where the market's going to skew the order book up or down. Here. You're welcome. Discord kicked me out. Why, Kennedy? ICT guys use 15-second always. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing, Big Turbo. Same thing. You must be mentally wiped after a few hours. Man, there's some truth to that. The shorter time frame you go, the more stressful you're going to be. 619 coming up along here now. Beautiful. Probably just connection issues. I can't seem to log in and the Discord doesn't show my active stream discussion or streams. Just might have to delete and download the app. That's not good. Oh man. 622 coming up. Now we're approaching the 50 fib right there, 50% move. We've got up here into major liquidity 620. That's the last leg of major liquidity here. All the way down. Would you start using fib? And I've always used the fib, but it's really only for the 50% retraction retracement. So I don't use any other levels, but the 50% is usually a pretty good indicator of where the market's going to pull back out. Plus, it also deals with liquidity. It's the same concept as liquidity, sitting around the half mark. Like right now, for example, we've got some liquidity around the 6.2, 6.3 mark on Nasdaq. But it's not something I'd lay my hat on. It's a more of a market awareness type of thing. All right. 617 here. What's that, Kevin? 30-minute 612 right there. I have to mute real quick. I'll be back in a second. All right, I'm back. $26.23. Still can't join the Bookmap stream. Have you tried the verification on Bookmap, Kennedy? Maybe that might be it. Here, I'll get you the invite. One second. Thoughts on AGFY? Let's go take a look. No trades for me. I'm not in the state of mind. That's a good call, Damien. That's good on you for recognizing it. Wait a second. We're talking about the AGFY. Agrify Corporation. What do they do? They are launching. They have gone from $2 to $32 in the past 8 days. Interesting. They are a prior... Holy moly. So you're telling me they went from $106,000 per share to $2 a share? Holy smokes. That's one of the larger moves off of a stock price I've ever seen. Their earnings reports are absolutely terrible, quarter after quarter. The last earnings they missed by 700%. $106,000 a share to $2, and they stopped reporting earnings after November 2022. Yeah. I don't know. I probably wouldn't touch them. How do you even miss by 700%? You steal money from the company and you lose a ton of money, I guess. Yeah, it's hard to even make an analysis on that because the chart is so crazy. I mean, how do you miss 7 audits in a row? You know, that seems impossible too. But hey, I've heard of that happening recently. $59.08. $6.30 still coming along here after that beautiful lower bounce. Up top, going for 63064. 15 minutes still carrying higher. VPA still says upside here. Nvidia still going. Apple has not bounced yet. Nvidia has. Microsoft barely has. Russell, Dow, the whole market, or XLF have recovered a little bit. Still going. Has the move down over? As of now, it is. Yeah. The options flow is not all that great, I will say. MSTR is quite green today. They are not really buying calls here. They're still selling puts. This is all put selling. They are not buying calls. The deltas are still going positive because of it, but they're not buying calls. VIX here is 8.8%. They are not dropping the VIX back over, so I would be skeptical of looking for the same move as yesterday. Still going, 640. Still going. Coming up a little 200-point bounce here. Nice. Oh, man, I need to check something. I forgot about that. How to get it cheap for tonight? Yeah. 146.14. I'm not sold the downside is done for a few reasons, which is be patient. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, just being patient. We'll get plenty of moves here. This morning was fantastic. Made daily goal off the bounce. Nice, Deacon. Well done, buddy. This to me is too much too fast on the upside. It's possible, but we had a whole big move down. We went 2 hours straight without any kind of buying. So this is just undoing some of that. And they're not hammering the calls here. They're just simply unrolling some of these puts, profit taking going into the event. We have liquidity up to 640, 655, about a 20-point little range back up. Nvidia is still going up here too, and we're not really adding anything else beyond 650. Is anyone else unable to close out positions because of a CME failure? I don't know. Haven't tried it. I built a trading view indicator for NASDAQ that calculates the SR levels based on volume and daily OHCL. Would you like to try it out and give us some feedback? I absolutely would like to try it out. Absolutely, I would. Yeah, send it to me. I'll try it out. Nvidia is still coming up strong here. Nvidia is Apple is still down, Microsoft is still down, Nvidia is complete V recovering. Tesla's down, Google's down, Meta is down, Amazon, everything is down except for Nvidia. Nvidia is completely V recovered. After they once again attacked their 140 level and bounced. They didn't quite get down to 1.4, but they got about down to 142, and then a strong bounce back up. Can't keep that puppy down. Everything else is down though, and staying down. Bonds down to 90.52. They are red again today. And I am still looking to add to my portfolio. United States of Nvidia. That's right. It's going to be a very interesting couple of years for Nvidia. XLF is top wicking back down. Liquidity shifts 2640. Let's look for, we have more icebergs coming on. Those are sell side icebergs on the book. Very active sell side here. Aggressive amount of icebergs here on the books. Top wick. Personally, I'm flat here looking for downside. I am also flat. You and me both, and I'm also considering what I'm going to have for lunch. But I'm also convinced we're not done with selling yet here. Myself. $21.68. A whole bunch of sell side icebergs there. ES, NASDAQ both kind of pivoting. 614. Once this top wick holds right here. Looking for the next move. VIX is heading back higher. They have not reduced the VIX yet, and we probably won't really see a good kill of the VIX day today until the NVIDIA event happens. Always check top step tilt. If I'm downside, normally they're 80% long. Beautiful. Love it. 600 on down here for NASDAQ. Nice little engulfing red. Come on back down. Looking for a next lower price. No more real catalysts today, although we do have a couple of FOMC talkers. And then, of course, NVIDIA earnings after the bell. On down. There's the big aggressive move lower, at least starting lower. It's 40-point move down in NASDAQ. Going to try to go for 578. $625. I trade NASDAQ futures. Will I be benefit for your subscription? Yeah. So we trade NASDAQ and the S&P. Normally, I haven't traded very much options the past couple of weeks, though I do anticipate that picking up aggressively in the next month or so. We trade a lot of NASDAQ futures, CL futures, and ES futures. So absolutely, yeah. Any thoughts on ANF? Looking for a retail holiday trade. Man, that's one of those that kind of wowed me. It's like, are you kidding me? Like we used to wear ANF back when I was a kid, and here they are hanging out. They've dropped off a lot. They were up at 200. So they're putting on a flag, a pennant here, which is a support resistance test. of 140 before your time. Back in my day, we wore Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah, it was very awkward pictures of adolescents on the walls. You go in to buy clothes. It was not fun. So 141 was the support resistance flip. That was a resistance from back in February 2024. They broke it when exponential came back off, and they're holding right at that level. So we have a couple of volume stoppages at 140. It doesn't look like much is tradable for this name because they've been back and forth since September, early September. They've been pinned flat. So I would wait for at least a break of 133 or 151. That's a pretty hands-off name right now. Here comes a move lower, 600, 598. There it is, first target achieved. Now we're going to be looking for 525 and then down to 569. Sell side icebergs on the S&P are pivotal. Look at that on the S&P. Beautiful. Look at all that. They came up, they filled all the order book. There was no more liquidity higher. It was all sell side icebergs, and then down she goes. Sell side icebergs, baby. The most important indicator that Bookmap offers, in my opinion, is the sell and the iceberg and stops on chart and sub chart indicator. Fantastic. Fantastic. Look at it. So like I said, I'm not sold on the upward move. The downside move is better. Size down today due to a busy work at the clinic. Crazy how 3 trades with 1 MNQ each can exceed and destroy my daily goal so quickly. 100%. I made what I make in a day at work with 1 MNQ per trade. Maybe tuned in 15 minutes today. Beautiful, Kennedy. That's the best way to trade. You get in, you get your trade, and get out. Trading is not sitting here all day waiting for a move. Get your cheddar, and then get out. Go make you a cheese toasty. Hard not to take that green, but I took my 3 trades. Nice, Alec. Have a good day, buddy. Well done today. Rest of the day could very well be pinned after the euro close. Possibly. Possibly. The signs were not there for a big upside move. That was simply some put covering, position taking, profit taking, etc. Not to mention VIX was not getting destroyed. They were just kind of tamping down the VIX. Yet another great example of ES stopping volume in the 5-minute. Nice, Jeremy. Well done, buddy. Can you explain your screen and how you're set up trade vision like that? Yeah. So what you're seeing here is the background is my what I call my 8-pack. Now you can't see 2 of the charts because I had to sacrifice some real estate for the Bookmap. But what you're seeing left to right is Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, and the Dow. On the bottom you're seeing the VIX, you're seeing the TLT, and then behind that you're seeing the XLF and the Russell. That allows me to track the components of the S&P at any given moment. It allows me to track when there's an outlier, when there's divergence. For example, right now we're seeing Apple go to new lows. We're seeing Nvidia almost V recovery. In the foreground here, we've got a Bookmap software, which allows me to track the liquidity and order flow. That, in my opinion, is the best way to track the order flow data. So this little setup I've got here is able to allow the viewers to see everything I'm looking at from an analytical standpoint. That's important. We do have, I think we do have a bond auction today, very light one. $5.86. Do you recommend a good video for using Hero? The guy is a genius, but not the best teacher. Oh man, do I need to do a video on Hero? I don't have a good video for Hero, unfortunately. I haven't created one myself yet. But we do talk about the Hero a lot in our personal streams. You could reference, I know it's not organized, but you could reference any of my live videos that are posted, and of course listen to the streams themselves and ask questions. But yeah, I'll be happy to do a Hero video in the future. There are many different ways to interpret the data of the 0DT options flow. So depending on who you listen to and what streams you listen to and who you trade from, there could be different interpretations. So definitely make sure you're basing your information off of the delta, the notional, delta notional. Just like Bookmap, there's 1,000 different traders out there that trade Bookmap differently. I trade Bookmap from a higher level view. A lot of traders like to zoom in very far on the S&P and trade tick to tick. I do not like doing this. I like trade zooming out, giving myself a wide berth to figure out where the skew is in the book, because that's my biggest use for the book, is where is the overall skew? Is the book balanced? Is it skewed? When it's skewed, you're going to have an imbalance move, which usually leads to a trend. If it's balanced and unskewed, then most likely you're going to have some sort of consolidation and or range style price action. So different strokes for different folks. I don't like to trade level to level on the tick to tick. For example, now I'm seeing this market go from a balanced book to an imbalanced book down to 58.93. So I'm going to look to see the S&P move down to 58.93, if not 58.89. Because the order flow is skewed lower, and the market loves to seek out liquidity. This is a complete side note, but other than trading, would the server be able to get a business plan feedback and review for a business? The talk we had about setting up business earlier this kind of week inspired me to have a few ideas. I'd love to do that. I'm very passionate about opening side businesses. I've opened many LLCs in my life. So I'd love to talk about it and trade ideas, learn from one another. If I can convince someone to go and open up a business, at least one person, I think I've done my duty. It's a great idea. My executions and strategy definitely need some work, but I'd get feedback. For sure. 100%. Write it up. I'd love to see it. Short at 730 down to 5.5. Nice, Kennedy. Almost a 200-point sell. Nice. Well done. 525 to 62, almost 100-point long, and a 30-point sell. Nice. That's amazing, Kennedy. Well done, dude. That's fantastic trading right there. Position size is such a game changer. Isn't it, though? Isn't it, though? So I've got one eye open. How many other eyes can I open? How many other eyes can I open? Do not be upset by the results you get from something you did not do. If you are trading and overpositioning and continually getting your face beat in, you can't get upset anymore. You can't get mad at yourself. You can't throw things. You can't be in a bad mood. You don't have the right to be in a bad mood after you get smacked in the face from doing stupid stuff, because you're not doing the work you need to. Now, if you're doing the work and using proper position sizing and you still lose, hey, that's okay. Top wick back over, still looking for the 58.90 on ES. Not a big move here, at least not for in the short term. You said yesterday was a perfect example of VPA. Could you do a video on the action? Sure. Currently trying to mix the order flow with my ICT concept strategies. Let me know if you have any questions. Is that buy here on NASDAQ? I don't see it. Not to mention, right today, NVIDIA runs the market. NVIDIA is selling back off right now. Obviously, much slower price action than that. $5,900 right there. There's still waiting here, shifting on down to $58.92. So they made the big shake and bake move this morning, apparently, and then now they're going to wait. They'll probably have some more shake and bake in the last 60 minutes, and then NVIDIA will report, and there you go. I still think at least down 58.90, another 9 points on the S&P. 58.98. So choppy, my bias was short, but I have to just cut it. I think it'll get that 58.90. Just gotta wait. I mean, it's very, very slow right now. How long do you usually stream for? For the Bookmap streams, I stream for an hour, which will end here in about 4 minutes. On normal streams, I usually stream from market open until about 11:30, 11:45 Eastern. I changed my position size and started making money stress-free. 100%, Brock. It's the only way to do it. There is no other option other than small position sizing. This doesn't work. Here comes 58.97, looking for the sweep into 58.90 on liquid. How long? Do I think lows are in? I don't know. 58.96 down to 58.90. 58.96, 50 down into 91, and then of course we have this block from 94 down to 90. There we go, 94. Right through 94 there, breaking and coming on down. Seeing if we can come on down here and grab that. It's only another 4 more points. It's not that far, but it's looking like they're going to grab it. Four more points. 2 more minutes and I have to sign off, unfortunately. $58.94 coming on down. Almost there. Very slow. Definitely Daft Punk, for sure. Definitely. Almost there. You see a couple of icebergs starting to come in here, but other than that, they're just attacking the liquidity. Very slow. Very slow. $93 coming on down to 90. Just as I said, trying to get 50 points for my daily price target. No, it's still coming down. It's just very, very slow, that's all. All right, y'all. That is 11:30. Unfortunately, I do have to call that a day. Let me know if you have any questions. This will be the culmination of the Bookmap stream. We'll be coming back on next Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern for another hour. Other than that, I will see you back early tomorrow for the Bookmap for our current Discord right before the market opens. We'll see how the NVIDIA shakes out and how this is going to move the markets. Here comes 58.90 right as we sign off, which is perfect. So hope you have a good rest of the day. I'm out. See ya.